It's been a couple of weeks now, but we have finally gotten our first look at Pokemon Legends ZA. And personally, I'm really looking forward to this game, but there is one slight problem. It releases in late 2025, and I am not very patient. So to help pass the time, I'm gonna take on my very own Shiny Kalos quest, a series where I will be creating a Shiny Living Dex of all Kalos Pokemon. There are 72 Pokemon that were introduced in Pokemon X and Y, and of those, 3 of them are mythicals, but we're gonna put those aside, meaning that the total number of Pokemon that we need to collect is 69. Don't say it. That might seem like a lot, but shiny hunting has become quite easy in the latest games, and I'm gonna be taking advantage of as many different methods as I possibly can to help speed up the process. And that leads us to our first target, Fletchling. I chose this as the first target because I still had the Flying type Outbreak event active, which featured Fletchling with boosted shiny odds. Alright, the first shiny of the Shiny Kalos quest, and it looks a lot more vibrant than it normally does. I thought it would only be like slightly browner, but that looks super vibrant. And it's also surrounded by a bunch of bulls, so I should probably go ahead and catch it. Alright, let's get serious. Let's just chuck a Repeat Ball. One of my favorite Pokeballs of all time. There's the grass again. Why? At some point, I decided to change outbreaks, and this worked out very well, actually. Alright, well, I had to save a Switch clip because I wasn't recording at the time, but literally the minute that I happened upon this outbreak, there's Fletchling number 2. Behold. We have to try the Dive Ball, one of my favorite Pokeballs of all time, and it works! Dive Ball Shiny Fletchling, let's go! What? No! You know what? Go ahead, Dawn fan, you've earned it. Wait, that was shiny? Probably should not have started recording at that point. But yeah, here we go, the final Fletchling. I evolved Fletchling number 1 into Fletchinder, and Fletchling number 2 into Talonflame, making the first full Pokemon family and bringing us to 3 out of 69 Kalos Pokemon. But for our next target, we're gonna have to jump timelines a little bit. Now we've jumped over to Pokemon Scarlet. As you can see, there's another mass outbreak event that I still have saved. This one was the Powerhouse Pokemon outbreak event. It gave boosted shiny odds to several pseudo-legendary Pokemon, including the Goomies, the Goomsters. I hope this will be quick and simple, because I just want to knock this out as quickly as I possibly can. I don't think this is a good... Speaking of which, look at that, Goomster number 1. Oh, that was awesome. Thank you, Goomster. I'm glad that you decided to show up so quickly. We'll quick ball it. You know, the colors, they kind of match if you squint a little bit and then Q-shift Goomy. Okay, so I had to jump around to a couple different locations, but we finally found Goomy number 2. Do I go for a stomp and hope it doesn't resist a stomp? Oh, no, son of a bitch, oh well. Okay, well, I've learned what not to do. And I know there's probably a billion people saying, oh, you should have saved before then. And like, yeah, I know. But that just takes some of the fun out of it. The shiny odds are like 1 in 200 already. I could take an L here or there. Besides, I need padding for my shiny fail compilation. Goomy number 3, the redemption arc begins. Okay, we have secured the second Goomy. That was both a yawn and a yay, so that was more like a yee. There is the Goomy number, well, technically it's 4, but you know, we don't talk about Goomy number 2. Goomy number 3 evolved into Sliggoo number 1, and Goomy number 4 evolved into Sliggoo number 2. You're gonna forget how to curse though, because we do not tolerate cursing on this channel. For the most part, a couple slip through here and there. I had to trade Sliggoo number 2 over to Pokemon Sword to evolve it because I didn't really want to wait for rain in Scarlet and Violet. But with our new Goodra, we're now at 6 out of 69 Kalos Pokemon. I think we're gonna jump onto one of the bigger Pokemon. I think I'm gonna go start setting up the Yveltal hunt. The X and Y legendaries were going to be a little bit tricky since there's only a couple of places to hunt them. Xerneas and Yveltal can be shiny hunted in Ultra Space or the Dynamax layer, but Zygarde can only be shiny hunted in the Dynamax layer. And as someone who has attempted to solo a few Dynamax adventures, let me just say this. This really sucks. So we're saving Zygarde for last and jumping right into Ultra Space. It took a few tries, but I managed to find the location and the specific encounter I needed. The soft resets were pretty fast as well. I was able to get around 200 an hour, which is more than I was expecting, so I don't think this hunt is going to take too long. And spoiler alert, I don't actually find the shiny Yveltal in this video. I just wanted to show up this setup and the start of the hunt, and this is something that I'll keep you updated on as the Shiny Kalos quest continues. But I didn't want to end this video off with a couple of outbreak hunts and an unfinished soft reset hunt, so we've come out here to Route 8 of the Kalos region, where we're gonna be doing some fishing. Chain fishing is one of the easiest shiny hunting methods available, and it's how I got hooked on finding shinies. Basically, for every consecutive Pokemon that you reel in, you get an additional 2 extra shiny rolls for the next Pokemon in the chain. It maxes out at a chain of 20 for 40 extra shiny rolls, which is roughly a 1% chance for a shiny. There we go, there's a first Skrelp. Yeah, gotta go for the classic dive ball. And it works. And Squidward levels up. Let's go Squidward, you're the best. Wait, I've never caught a Skrelp on this save file? The chain broke only a few minutes later, but after a quick break, I came back and was able to net the next Skrelp in only 10 minutes. With both Skrelp in my back pocket, I decided to transfer them forward before evolving one. But before that, how about a bonus Diancie? I know I said I was throwing the mythicals aside, but we're gonna go on a bit of a side quest here. There were a couple of events where you could receive a shiny Diancie, but those have long since passed, so we're gonna have to do something a little bit sneaky. And by that I mean I'm just going to inject a Wonder Card directly into my save file. From there, I was able to pick up the Diancie at a Pokemon Center like a normal mystery gift, and was even met with an unexpected cutscene. Personally, I'm not going to count this as part of the Living Dex since it technically cannot be obtained legitimately nowadays, but I just thought it'd be a fun little side tangent to go on for now. Back in Scarlet and Violet, I evolved Skrelp number 2 into Dragalge, which is actually a pretty cool Pokemon that might make it onto my Legend ZA team. This also brings us to a grand total of 8 out of 69 shiny Kalos Pokemon, and that concludes the first episode of the Shiny Kalos quest. Apologies if it's a little rough around the edges. I'm leaving for a family vacation tomorrow and I wanted to get something out before then, so I kind of had to crunch to finish this up. But yeah, this was a lot of fun to make and I'm looking forward to doing more. I've even already got a couple more hunts for the next episode done, so hopefully it won't take another month to make one video. Or maybe it will, I don't know, I guess we'll just have to find out. But until then, I've been Doof. This is something that I'm going to zoom in on. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but it's a thing. And I will see you all in the next video.